do you guys have any particular questions or anything? We kind of covered FlexGrid. Do you guys want to cover any more on FlexGrid, or are you guys good on that?
I think I'm good.
Okay, awesome. What let's do is I'm just going to log out, and I'm going to log back into where we were. Let's see if we can do a light review, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll jump right back in and kind of talk about elements of time. If you guys are okay with that, alrighty? So I'll log back in. Okay, awesome. And just for fun, here's all the pieces of FlexGrid that we currently did. Okay, so basically we did some to an employee, we did a bunch to invoices, and here's the different little subs that we were connecting to, et cetera, et cetera. Like, we've actually done a number of different little pieces, but if you didn't want this, you're like, whoa, I don't want to see all that, you could easily filter it. You just go like this. You know what? I just want to see just the stuff that was actually assigned to my customer information tables. Okay, go ahead and go get it. This just pulls the ones that were, like, you can filter data, easy, easy, easy once it's there, okay? Any of these pieces are searchable, whether it's a piece of FERT, watch this, FlexGrid, F-E-R-T, FERT, okay? It goes and finds that one that has the word fertilizer in it, right there, okay? You can search and select and do all kinds of stuff. It's a data point, you're kind of selecting. Okay, cool. Let's just do a light review, and then we'll take a small break. So Paul, can I ask you real quick, what was your impression or what was your thought on FlexGrid? Like, what did that help with some of the exercises that we did then?
Yes, it helped. That you can link items and people invoices to a customer, and employees you can link classes and items to that particular person. It's just that answered a lot of questions.
You have to think kind of expansible as far as that goes. Like, we showed you a couple small examples, but depending on where your need is, you go to that need and then you kind of solve it.
Yeah, and it took something like what you had on the Excel sheet. It took 100 variables.
Oh, it did.
And then broke it down to only the 3 that you needed.
Correct.
You know, like I have this big spreadsheet. I need 2 items out of it. Why try to search for it when it's at the end, when it can just be compacted and listed on that person?
Correct. So that's why we call it the FlexGrid times. But I really appreciate Mick saying something like, wow, it kind of almost sounds like the expansibility of a spreadsheet. So that was a great, I've actually never used a spreadsheet to show what a FlexGrid is, but it really kind of helped because you can see that, like, you got 40 plus fields that are in this database table. But what we do is we only record the pieces that we need, and then to show it back, we're like, oh, here's the only ones that really have real data. You know, everything else is default values. Okay, so that's kind of what happens there. Perfect. I love it. Nick, any other comments from you on FlexGrid? And
well, I guess one of the things I was kind of flashing back to is an application that's probably not something that you had thought about, but for me as a new player, we probably have 20 or more people in our organization. And if I had a FlexGrid by location with talent, I mean, I've got our kind of operations running the shop, who's the bud tender. He's also a carpenter.
Sure.
And so in this, when we're wearing multiple hats and we're trying to get something done, I mean, if I said, okay, Cody, he opens the shop, you know, he's our bud tender, he's also, you know, a mechanic or he's a carpenter or whatever. I mean, currently, instead of going on the outside to try to have to pay somebody to do it, and I mean, like the other day, we had created, you know, the screen to get in, and then you could go into where our product was displayed, but we had a wall there, and so if somebody would come in, Cody was having to go out, around, and come back in. So he just went and got his saw and created a new door, so that when he was standing there dealing with a customer, he could at least look out and make contact and say, I'll be right with you,
Sure.
as opposed to leaving the other guy in here who could...
He had to virtually exit the whole time and stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But, you know, but it was set up to be secure, but, and he, I mean, I'm not sure whether we're going to put some kind of clear door or what we're going to do with that space, but, I mean, he needed it. He just went and got a drywall saw and created a doorway. But having a a multiple talent list in a flex grid by entity, so we know whether they're at this location or that location, or on weekends, we're trying to, I mean, I could see us working a couple of weekends to try to get the facility ready, because my sense of it is 9 o'clock January 1st, I could see a long line out front of each of our 3 locations for people to hit it.
Sure.
And, you know, we're all anticipating that we're probably going to run out of material in those first couple of days because everybody's going to come and try to be there. But to get there, if we had a talent pool, I mean, a lot of people see my green eye shades and have no way of knowing that I'm pretty under the hammer myself.
Sure, sure.
But to create a employee database that has all their talents that we could sort, and to know that, you know, you could also be a water, or you could also come in and be a trimmer, or, you know, all of this. It just
Watch how quick you can do that.
Database that we would create real quick.
So instead of saying classes, what if we added one more and said like this, employee talents. Yeah. Is it two L's?
One L.
One L?
And it's
Or skills or whatever you wanted to do, you know?
not skill set.
And you go
And,
like
and
this.
maybe some of these other guys already know what most people's talent is. It's just I don't know that I do, and you know, it would be nice if, even as we grow, to continue as we hire someone, see what other skills they might have. Just, and I guess I just this morning as we were going through some other items, I was still trying to see how it fit our
Sure.
industry, and this was kind of. I mean, the accounting package is the same for all, but having something that, you know, just a quick database would be, I think it would have some value.
As you go along in your business, you'll see that people will show you their skills until something comes up, and then that certain employee will come up and
They'll kind of rise
above the rest. Like, okay, you can do this, and what else can you do? You know what? People are like that. Someone will come in and say, okay, well, this is my skills. This is what I can do. Well, then as you get into it, you start knowing that person, right? Wait a minute, your skills, you say they're here, but I see them here or here, and this location, but at this location, your skills aren't very good, but at this location, you're excellent, and I see that in this, the way that we did that with the grid, the flex grid setup here, you can put that, and at each location, you can say, Tom, or Cody, he's a great carpenter. Okay, he can be a great carpenter here. He's the bud tester. He goes out and he can smoke all the bud and see how, you know, which product is good and this. And then all of a sudden you have Tom, that Tom is just, he's great at the cash register. Wait a minute, no he's not. He's also, he can paint or he can, you know, do everything for you. And I just see that people, when people get into a mindset where they can only do this, but then you help them, like, well, I need this, can you do it? And you give them that chance that they can run it. And that's
awesome. This was just a simple example right here, but like, oh, you want another column? Like, all of a sudden you have a new container. You say, I need a new bucket to hold talents in, okay? And I'm going to tie it to each employee if I need to. So that's literally what you're doing inside Adilas. You create buckets over and over again. So, wonderful, good stuff. Shannon, any comments for you for
No, it's great. I thought that was neat to lay it out in Excel. We'd never done that, but I mean that's what it is. It's like it's a customizable database. So
yeah. So that's kind of what goes on there.
it was cool.
Awesome, great stuff. Let's go ahead and take. We're almost at 3 o'clock. When we come back, we're going to kind of deal with elements of time. Okay, this is kind of scheduling and calendaring stuff. But let's go ahead and take a good 10-minute break or so. We'll come back at about 3:05.